Algorithms can do so much more than control social media feeds. In fact, they have the power to save lives and improve our health. At the Weizmann Institute, Professor Yonina Eldar has pioneered innovative algorithms that optimize MRI scans and make ultrasound devices more portable, affordable, and accessible. Professor Eldar's lab develops AI tools that can pave the way to new technologies that can see, hear, and communicate beyond existing limits. Learn more at celebratinggreatminds.org.
Do you think seeing a therapist or psychiatrist would be helpful, but you don't have the time to actually find one and meet with them or afford them? Try our sponsor, Talkspace, the #1 online therapy platform with licensed therapists in over 40 specialties, including anxiety, depression, substance abuse, relationship issues, and much more. At Talkspace.com, you can sign up online and get a personalized match with a provider that's right for you, typically within 48 hours. It's incredibly convenient to have virtual sessions with your licensed therapist from the comfort of your home. Plus, Talkspace lets you send messages to your therapist too, so you don't have to wait for your next session if you need to reach them sooner. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off of your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/optimal. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/optimal to get $100 off of your first month and show your support for the show. That's Talkspace.com/optimal. This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2097. Simple tips for restful sleep. How your eating habits and your evening routine affect your sleep. By Kate Galliett of fitforreallife.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Welcome back to another episode of Optimal Health Daily. This is where I read to you from some of the best health and fitness blogs on the web, kind of like an ongoing audiobook. And now, let's get right to the post for today as we optimize your life. Simple tips for restful sleep. How your eating habits and your evening routine affect your sleep. By Kate Galliett of fitforreallife.com. Sleep is critical for health and wellness, but getting good sleep can be tricky when there are many factors that influence if you're able to fall asleep quickly and if you stay asleep all night. In this post, I'm going to share simple tips and resources I've learned that help me get a more restful night's sleep. What time you eat could be affecting your sleep. You've likely heard the old adage, don't eat after 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or some arbitrary time on the clock. Or perhaps you've heard this one, don't eat within 3 hours of bedtime. Both of these state that eating any closer to bedtime guarantees that whatever food you eat will be stored solely as body fat. This is incorrect. While metabolism is much more complicated than what I can post here, just know that your body is not determining what to store as body fat based on time of day or proximity to bedtime. But if you adhere to these myths, you may be making it harder on yourself to get good sleep. Why eating a later dinner could help. For most people, sleep is the longest period of the day that they go without eating. When you're fasting, you experience a natural blood sugar drop. Ideally, your body regulates your blood sugar well throughout the day and night by creating slow rises and drops, not huge spikes and steep drop-offs, which occur when you have poor blood sugar regulation. However, more than 1 in 3 Americans have prediabetes, which means that most people do not have good blood sugar regulation. This means that they have higher spikes in blood glucose after meals. They take longer to clear blood glucose from their bloodstream, and they become resistant to insulin, which is one of the hallmarks of type 2 diabetes. And so, when their blood sugar drops, it does so more like a roller coaster dropping down that first big hill where it falls hard and fast, rather than as a slow, steady decline. While you are asleep, your blood sugar will rise and fall naturally as part of your circadian rhythm. But when blood sugar falls too low, cortisol is released in your body to help raise blood sugar by releasing stored glucose. Cortisol is what helps to wake you up in the morning. Having an increase in cortisol in the middle of the night can wake you up. Put this into practice by having dinner within 3 hours of bedtime, and on days when that's not possible, have a small snack before bed. Ideally, your snack should be made up of protein and fat, and if you choose a little bit of carbs, make them fibrous, not sugar-based. Your evening routine could be affecting your sleep. When it comes to winding down for bed, Netflix, phone scrolling, and alcohol are often part of the mix. Unfortunately, none of these are truly effective at helping you wind down. Winding down involves a multitude of physiological processes that set your brain and body up to be ready to go to sleep. Of all the internal processes that occur to ready you for sleep, the one I never see highlighted enough is the necessary drop in core body temperature that helps you to get to sleep and stay asleep. As you prepare to fall asleep, heat is drawn away from your body's core, allowing your body temperature to drop. This lower temperature is critical for sleep onset and also leads to deeper sleep throughout the night. Why a warm bath or foot soak could help. The numbers of Americans struggling to fall asleep and stay asleep are rising every year. One study from Consumer Reports found 27% of respondents said they struggled with sleep most nights. Many of those who struggle with sleep would likely tell you that their mind keeps going or their mind won't let them fall asleep, and that may be true. However, the body and mind are perpetually tethered. What's going on in one is affecting the other, and vice versa. This is why helping your body to wind down can help your mind wind down too. One intentional action you can take to help your body wind down is by proactively warming your body, which in turn creates a steeper and more rapid decline in body temperature, and thus increases the likelihood of sleep initiation. Known as the warm bath effect, immersion in hot water prior to, but not immediately before the sleep period, makes you fall asleep faster and sleep more deeply. But don't worry if you don't have a bathtub. A foot soak can work too. Put this into practice by including a short bath or foot soak in your end-of-day routine. You can soak for as long as you like, but 10 minutes is sufficient if you are too antsy to soak longer. And for further relaxation of your muscles and your mind, add Epsom salts, which contain magnesium that can help relieve achy muscles, to the bath or foot soak. It's understandably frustrating when you struggle with sleep. The key is not to try so many things at once that you never actually know what's working. And while there are an incredible amount of things you could try to help your sleep, it pays to just pick one or two things to try at any given time. So, give these two simple tips a try and see if they help your sleep to become more restful. You just listened to the post titled, Simple Tips for Restful Sleep, How Your Eating Habits and Your Evening Routine Affect Your Sleep, by Kate Galliett of fitforreallife.com. We all have someone who has genuinely impacted our lives for the better. And if you're a business owner, you need to hire the same type of person for your company. Now, it's easy to find that perfect employee thanks to Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform helping over 3 million businesses worldwide to do it all. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates. Over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates the moment they sponsor a job. I especially love Indeed's Instant Match feature because candidates you invite to apply through Instant Match are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in search, according to US Indeed data. Indeed knows that finding people with the right skills makes all the difference when you're a hiring team of one. Visit Indeed.com/health to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/health. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. Troubles with falling asleep and staying asleep can be maddening. There's a point where we'll try anything just so long as it works. From experience, I know that some may rely on taking an over-the-counter antihistamine, like Benadryl, for example, to help fall asleep. Now, if someone does rely on this type of medication to fall asleep and stay asleep, I usually provide a word of caution. Within the last few years, meta-analyses have been published looking at the long-term effects of using antihistamines. In some of these results, the news wasn't great. This is because some of the researchers have found that long-term use can increase the risk for developing dementia. There are researchers who have said that these findings, even though they came from meta-analyses, may not be accurate. But even so, most healthcare professionals agree that reducing our exposure to these types of compounds may be a good idea just in case. Now, Your doctor may want you taking an antihistamine for very good reasons, like to manage symptoms of another condition. Please continue to do that if that's the case. But if, say, you're taking an antihistamine to help you fall asleep at night and for no other reason, consider one of the methods today's author Kate suggested instead and try it out. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another post and where your optimal life awaits.